what I want to talk about this week is, instead of going over our normal, how to hack this, how to stop that, from our perspective, I'd like to talk about what I've seen to be one of the bigger issues, and that's the fact that the corporations and the people who are making security equipment, security tools, put too much control into the user's hands. Now, I'm not saying that they need to hijack the whole system, have it custom, or not customizable, rather, where you can't change anything. But a lot of people who employ these systems just don't understand what's out there and what they need to look out for. For example, you go buy a router. You set up your router, and unless you know about the router access pages, you don't know that you need to secure those. So, for those of us who are listening to this, it's probably preaching to the choir. You probably know that it's out there, you probably know you need a password, and it needs to be a good one. But so many people don't realize that. If you go around war driving, or just sniffing networks in your neighborhood, you'll see that, you find a bunch of people with unencrypted networks. Now, that's problem one. When you get a router, it should alert you to the fact that you need WEP. It shouldn't be an option that you need to go search out and figure out yourself. It needs to come up with the installation. It needs to say, hey, you need to secure your network because there are people out there who want to use it. And a lot of people look at that and say, well, I'm just going to use my network. What's the big deal with that? Well, it's a bigger deal than that. They're going to sniff your traffic. They're going to steal your accounts, read your emails. ARP poisoning. They'll man in the middle of you. So, that's step one, is to put that layer in between yourself and the outside world. And the security industry as a whole do not provide the information for that. They don't provide that you need to do this. Oh, sorry. You don't hear that when you install most of the routers. Now, it's been a while since I've done them a new one, but I've installed a few other people's, and it just doesn't seem like it's out there. It's always, do you want to WEP your network? It's your decision. It's not a, you need to do this. And then on top of that, obviously, WEP isn't the most secure. I'm not going to pretend that by WEPing your network, you've got everything covered. But it's the first step. It prevents the boundary. If you go out and you're war driving and you see a network that's got WEP and you see a network that doesn't, which one are you going to hit? Second problem is the router administration pages. You can hit those on a web browser. So you stumble across even an unencrypted network. You type in the broadcast address, port 80, Firefox, Internet Explorer, whatever you want to use, and there you go. And there are sites out there and lists that you download that's got all the default passwords. I'd say, in my personal experience, easily 50%, if not more, routers have this problem. They have default passwords. And since so many people use the same router, you don't even need a list from most of them. Linksys, admin, password, done. And you're in. And you have control. Now, Linksys doesn't provide a whole lot of options in their router, but you can do things to it. Set up port forwarding, set a box of yours behind it, set up dynamic DNS, and now you can use their network to host your server and distribute your wares, or your illegal files, or whatever you want. Host your own damn site, I don't care. The point is, odds are good, people probably don't want that happening. So again, it needs to be in that initial setup. The router companies, the switch companies, Linksys, Netgear, they need to sit down and they need to say, hey, you have to do this. It shouldn't be an option. It shouldn't be a, do you want to change your password to something else? Most decent websites have employed security towards that. Your password has to be 8 characters. You have to use a number. I'm not even asking for that much right now. I'm asking for them to say you have to change from the default. You have to make your password something other than what this comes with stock. Or change what they come with stock. Don't have it come with admin, with the password being password or admin or nothing. Have it come with, randomly generated hashes or your serial number or something like that where it is unique to that router, that switch. Because that puts a second layer of defense in. You've got an password-protected router. Now, again, brute force you crack the web. Okay, no problem. It takes time. So there's one thing. And again, you'll have to take time hitting the router with something like Hydra. So I'm not going to go into how to do that. That's not what this one's about. The second issue I'd like to talk about today, in opposed to just the lack of thought about what a common user does and doesn't know that a lot of corporations don't handle, is we've also got politicians and the people in charge who are making our laws and deciding things about it that are ignorant. Now, I'm not saying that they need to go out and study and go to college for this stuff, though they probably should. But if we're going to pass a law to stop hacking, to deal with heightening the computer security, network security, they need to be informed. For example, Germany has passed new laws, which essentially makes Linux illegal to run. Why? Most Linux distributions come with a tool called Nmap. Nmap's a hacking tool, therefore it's illegal. They think that if they make everything hacking related illegal, it will stop everything. The Metasploit site was originally, I think, run out of Germany. At least one of the people who was part of it is in Germany, or was in Germany, and has had to stop putting papers out and things like that because of it. A lot of high-level security industry researchers, professors, people who were actually digging in and finding things out had to stop publishing papers, had to stop taking down had to start taking down things off their website because they're worried about going to jail. Now, this is cover all the bases, block everything hacking, it'll stop it. It's not going to stop hacking. It's going to stop legitimate people from pushing the envelope to find out where the holes are. It's going to stop the researchers, the people who are legally conscious. But if you're breaking the law by hacking, just because they put another law in, isn't going to stop you, is it? Probably not.